What's up guys, Alex from Fast Fitness Tips. I've got a quick one for you today, which is what is the most feared thing amongst cyclists? Okay, the most feared thing is probably being smashed off your bike by a 20-ton lorry which cuts you up on a main road. But okay, what's the second most feared thing for cyclists? Probably having a puncture, yeah? How sickening is it when you're out on the ride, even with your buddies, and you have a puncture? It slows everyone down. You've got to spend hours by the roadside or take your bike to the shop. In fact, we've got some interesting stats on this right now from our friends at Pink Bike. What do you think is the frequency of punctures, guys, on typical rides? Well, it turns out that around 6% of cyclists say they have a puncture every 3 rides. Geez, those are unlucky guys, yeah? Around 13% have a puncture every 8 to 10 rides, 25% have a puncture every 20 rides, and around 50 to 55% have a puncture every 35 rides. And across the board, it turns out it's around 25 rides. So you might do 25 rides in a month. How horrible is it to have a puncture every month out on the road? And don't forget, you've got to carry all that equipment as well, which I find a complete pain in the ass. So if there was a product which solved this, this would be awesome, right? Well, in the 70s and 80s, we did see some products that purported to solve this, and these were solid tires. Do you remember those solid, I don't know if you ever saw them, solid rubber tires from the 70s and 80s? What they used to do is once you installed them, they would be impossible to damage, but the problem was they were super heavy, maybe around 500, 600, 700 grams. They were horrible to ride, no cushioning in there. So certain manufacturers like Green Tire came up with a better foam product, which is like hybrid foam rubber, which is a complete tire that goes on your bike. I've never ridden one of these, by the way, so I don't know what they're like. But at the cycle show, various cycle shows, I have seen the Tannis tire product. The Tannis is quite interesting because it's a EVA type foam, the kind of foam that's come from trainers or sneakers. And they've manufactured it for bike tires, different sizes, pretty much all across the range, road, mountain, cross. So for commuting, this could be a massive boon. Imagine a tire that never punctures, no matter what you do to it. They've got a couple of nice videos here showing various tests, riding over thorns, riding over nails. This looks like the answer to everyone's dreams, doesn't it? But the price is actually pretty good. The price is around 50 to 100 pounds, euros, dollars. The price is actually reasonable. I don't think the price is something that will be holding you back. So what are the downsides? What are the downsides to the Tannis tire product? Well, I would say the first one is the weight. If you look at like 25 millimeter, 700cc, you're talking about roughly twice the weight of an inner tube. So not 200 to 300 grams, more like 400, maybe 500 grams times 2, of course. You wouldn't want one regular tire on the front, one foam tire on the back, would you? That would be weird. Another problem, a genuine problem, one to think about, is the rebound and wear. Let's have a look at this.
Tannis tires, but what I'd like to show you is the tread wear of each of the tires. So this is maybe about after 3,000 miles what your Tannis tire will look like, and it's super soft.
Okay, that was David from the YouTube channel David Sunshine, and David's tested the Tannis tire and looked at the wear rates. Now, a slight red flag there. He said that you get significant wear rate, as you see in his video, after about 3,000 miles, which is around about 5,000 kilometers, as opposed to 9,000 or so claimed by Tannis themselves. So that's something to watch out for. If the wear is a problem, we'll put that definitely in the cons column. Now, there is a whole other concern, which is about rolling resistance on the road and basically how much slower are you. Now, Tannis don't have a lot of information on their website about this, but there are a few reports of people who've tested it. We've managed to get hold of some data, and let's have a look at this. Various tests which are available online do suggest a problem here. And yes, guys, this is Fast Fitness Tips. We're bringing cycling science to you, so we can put some numbers on this for you here. And I've done it in a couple of really simple charts. So let's say you're commuting on a regular pneumatic tire versus a foam tire. Let's say your commuting speed is typically around, let's say around 24 miles an hour, 30 kilometers an hour. and let's say you're commuting to work somewhere around 230 watts, what would be the difference in the performance between those tires? Well, let's look at watts. Now, this is actually quite hard to get down accurately because as your speed changes with an improved product like the tire rolling resistance or CRR, your aerodynamics change slightly because your speed is changing. But we've done this calculation for you behind the scenes, and this is the take-home message from the rider stats that I just gave you. So riding in around 230 watts. It turns out that the foam tire would rob you as front and back of around 105 watts during that commute, which is actually around 44% of the total resistance. The higher your speed, the more resistance is going to be through aerodynamics, of course. Lower the speed, generally the more your percentage losses are going to be through rolling resistance and mechanical losses. So the take home there is that you're going to lose about 105 watts by having a foam tire product versus 77 watts using a regular tire. Now, let's look at that in terms of speed. This is the second graph here. It's going to reduce your speed if you ride at the same watts, around about 230 watts. It's going to reduce your speed to around about 30 kph on the foam tire versus 32.6. So the difference is 2 to 3 kilometers an hour, which is quite significant, or about 1.5 miles an hour riding a foam product. So my take on that is that the rolling resistance with solid foam EVA type tires is probably higher than we'd like, and some people would say that's a deal breaker for them for sure. But there's a whole different type of product out there, guys, and some of you who are into mountain biking will already know that, and that's, for example, the foam insert that goes into your regular tire. I'm talking there about something like CushCore, but there are others on the market, Huck Norris, Flat Tire Defender. Now, it's interesting, if you look at the CushCore website, they actually do address rolling resistance pretty thoroughly. In fact, they sent their tire inserts to the lab, rolling resistance lab in Finland, and they've come back and said that the CushCore insert actually saves you about a watt at low tire pressure, around 25 psi on kind of rough ground. So here's the thing. Do the foam tire insert products, which are known in mountain bike, actually save watts, whereas the EVA type of foam solid tire, although they offer great protection, have a problem with slight excess wear and also this problem with rolling resistance? Well, coming right up to date, we've got a brand new product launching this month. I want to tell you guys about AirFom. AirFom is a product that's launching at the Taipei Cycle Show this month. And basically, it's a bit like CushCore for road. It's a foam tire insert that works across the range, not just on mountain bike, not just on gravel, but also on road. So this is a potentially exciting product because it's promising great puncture resistance, probably the ability to run over a wider range of equivalent PSI, and possibly lower rolling resistance, or at least no worse rolling resistance. That will be awesome if it's the case. So if you're a road rider or gravel rider, check out AirFom, guys. It's going to launch actually next month, I believe. They're coming to market pretty soon. If you think I've forgotten any products that you'd recommend for puncture resistance, sure, let me know in the comments below. So here's my question for you guys. It's a short video, but what do you think about these new foam tire inserts? Is it something you try? Is that performance hit, which I showed you here, is this performance hit one that you tolerate? Because the pros are very big. You know, the pros of no punctures ever once you get that product on. That is a hell of an attraction. But are the cons, the weight, perhaps the price, but more the performance decrement, something that would put you off? Let me know in your comments below, guys. Let me know what you think about foam tire inserts. And until next time, guys, this is Coach Alex from FastFitnessTips signing off.